The prevalence of autism continues to increase. I mean, it feels like every few years that prevalence gets higher and higher. When I started working in the field, the prevalence of autism was 1 in 166. Today, it's 1 in 44. And so when we talk about statistics like that, every person in the world is affected. Everyone knows someone who's on the spectrum.
When Jameson was quite a bit younger, he actually started saying mom and dad, doing all the normal things that children at those ages start doing. But then that all started going backwards. He stopped saying mom and dad and really was just making noises with his mouth and wasn't progressing verbally as most typical children his age would do. He started at Hope May 18th, 2020. They're just always working with him on anything and everything.
One of the biggest focuses of our services is increased communication. If our children leave with nothing else, it's the ability to communicate.
He's talking so much more. He does great with his peers. This past fall, he started pre-K. That's nothing that, honestly, we didn't know if that, would be something that he would ever be able to do. And then actually, when we met just a few weeks ago with Katie, she told us that he's ready for kindergarten. So, that's huge.
We're doing a lot of preschool age kiddos, 2 to 5 years of age, because if we do our job early, kids hopefully won't need that residential program, which separates them from their family. And that's not what we consider best outcomes. Best outcomes is keeping kids at home with their family.
He loves coming here so much. It's a part of his daily routine. He absolutely adores his therapist. I don't know where we would be. I'm just thankful for Hope. Seriously. I tell them all the time that you guys are like heaven sent.
Hope was started in 1957 by Dr. Jordan, who had a daughter, Judith Ann, who had multiple disabilities. Back in the late 50s, disabilities in the U.S. were not in a good place. Most states treated individuals with disabilities by putting them into mental institutions, state hospitals, and Dr. Jordan, for his daughter, didn't want that, and so he created his own school in the community here in Springfield to educate his daughter.
From the very beginning, 65 years ago, when the Jordan family looked for services for their daughter, they were already ahead of the game. So they started something that no one else was providing. Hope has continued that legacy for the following 65 years by continuing to provide cutting-edge service and being a step ahead in the movement toward inclusion, in the movement toward providing services to children and meeting them where they are in their own communities.
The thing that I'm excited about is the challenges ahead. It'll be hard, but worthwhile to grow our services into more areas so that Hope can eventually be a nationwide service provider.
I'm incredibly lucky to be able to work in a place like this in an environment that is so fostering and nurturing, but also in a place where we don't jump to a conclusion just because of a person's diagnosis. We see the skills that our kids and adults have, and we build upon those. Our staff are a different breed of people. Our employees are change agents.
I started in 2013, and at that time we wanted to grow an applied behavior analysis program. And we started with 3 young kids under the age of 5. And here we sit today serving 150 kids. We've expanded from Springfield to south of here in Edwardsville, O'Fallon. We have 2 clinics in St. Louis, and then recently we've opened a clinic outside of Nashville and one in Huntsville.
It's very exciting to move forward for the next 65 years. We've built a base that we're now growing and building off of, creating a program that starts basically at birth and can run through adult age, and providing every step along the way an option for that individual to have a service from Hope if they need it. And then building schools on top of that in those communities, and then vocational programs on top of that, residential, and then adult services and job coaching and those sort of things. Once we open up a program, we immediately are inundated with referrals. We know the need is there, the need is everywhere, so providing that option for families and individuals is exciting.
when we talk about the ripples, the impact that we make, that continues, and we're changing the lives not just of the kids that are served, but we're changing the lives of their brothers and sisters and of their parents and their grandparents, and we're able to see that success continue to ripple. And for me, that is the most important thing that we do.